Okay, today we have another lighter beer. This one coming to us from Brooklyn Brewing Company, which is, of course, in Brooklyn, New York. I don't think I've reviewed a beer from Brooklyn Brewing Company. This is their German Pilsner. This is 5.1% alcohol by volume, a little bit on the higher end of the Pilsner ABV. A little bit of a unique Pilsner using two-row malts from Bamberg, Germany, directly from Bamberg, Germany, and interesting hop choices. They use Hallertauer hops. They use two different kinds. One is Mittelfrau, and the other one is Pearl. Never heard of those hops before. I'm not really a big aficionado on exact ingredients of beer, so I'm still a novice, so you might know what they mean when they say those kind of hops. I have heard of the Vanguard hops, which is what they use too, and they use another kind of hops called the Suez, something like that. But 33 IBUs, of course, very low on the hop count, even though 33 is a little bit high for a Pilsner, I think. Usually you see them in the mid to upper 20s. Brooklyn Brewing Company, by the way, founded in 1988 by two guys, one of them named Steve Hindy, and the other one is Tom Potter. Hindy learned brewing techniques out of the Middle East, of all places. You don't think of beer as far as a beer place being the Middle East, but that's where he learned some brewing processes. And I believe he had an apartment, and one of his friends was Tom Potter. And basically, they quit their jobs and started Brooklyn Brewing Company, and boom, it grew into the vast success that it is now. So we'll open up our Pilsner here from Brooklyn. Actually, before I do, there is another little description here on the bottle. Brooklyn Pilsner is a pale, refreshing lager brewed in the style favored by New York's pre-prohibition German-American brewers. Brooklyn Pilsner tastes best before the freshness date indicated. Freshness date on this one is date printed on the bottle. That's the second time I'm looking at something that says date printed on the bottle. I am not seeing a date printed on the bottle. Maybe I'm looking at here we go. Best by November of 2012. So it's October of 2012, so we're within the freshness range. So no worry about this being a bad bottle, although it is bubbling big time. Maybe I jinxed that a little bit. We'll pour it into our Pilsner glass here, and I'm seeing a big, fluffy, gigantic head of a Pilsner. I think I can finish this off here. There we are. And beautiful looking Pilsner beer. This is the kind of beer that you want that kind of pour to be just nice and fluffy and just overall nice hue to it. No finely particulate kind of bubbles a little bit at the bottom, as you might be able to see, maybe. This is a little more of a cloudy kind of Pilsner with the feel that I'm getting, definitely, this thing. Not very transparent at all, so that's kind of interesting. Wow, the aroma is pretty incredible on this Pilsner. I've never really smelled a Pilsner that had this kind of aroma. Maybe some of the bigger Pilsners use some kind of cheap hops and barley just to kind of cut costs, like the corn and the cereal kind of stuff. This one doesn't. It uses really natural ingredients. I'm getting almost a creamy kind of smell to this. Almost a faint hint of the two-row, faint hint of the hops, and it must be those Hallertauer hops that I was talking about. Maybe that's what's causing the really unique smell here. A very pleasant smelling Pilsner. You know what? I don't particularly care for the smell of Pilsner usually, but this one gives it a more effervescent, almost cream-like, dessert-like aroma, which is very, very unique. So let's grab a taste of it now, as the head's still not really dissipating, but what the heck. A different kind of taste as well. I'm not really tasting that bitterness at the end that you taste from a Pilsner, that little twinge of whatever it is at the end that kind of makes it a little more bitter. I'm getting all fresh, all natural ingredients in my mouth as I taste this. And I'm telling you what, that cream scent is kind of transporting into the taste, as a matter of fact. I'm still getting that cream taste to this beer. This is unlike any other Pilsner I've ever had. It's very good, very refreshing. It may be, for the style, a little bit too complex. A little bit too much going on in this, maybe. When you think Pilsner, you don't think of a really complex beer. You think of a lawnmower beer. You think of a barbecue beer. You just think of something that's very accessible. This is more of a craft beer drinker's Pilsner. If that's an oxymoron, I apologize. Please forgive me. Hard to rate this one. I mean, in the style, I don't know if it's a go-to in the style, but as a craft beer and to appreciate the way it was constructed, I'm going to give Brooklyn Pilsner a 7 out of 10.